Hey folks, welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to share with you my original and secret pizza dough recipe. I know there are a lot of pizza dough recipes available on YouTube and other places, but this one is absolutely, in my opinion of course, and that's kind of a biased opinion, it's the best out there. So let's take a look and hope you enjoy the pizza. So here are the ingredients. So this is, as I mentioned, my secret recipe. I'm going to share it with you guys. We have 2.5 cups of flour. You can use all-purpose flour, or you can use organic flour, unbleached flour, whatever pleases you. And I use a stand mixer, but you can knead by hand if you don't have one. We have 1.5 teaspoons of active dry yeast. I keep my yeast in the freezer, so and I take it out when I need to use it. I buy it from Costco. You get a big box of yeast. You can use that. We also have some salt over here, and then we also have some oil over here. So now I'm going to add and show you how I add the ingredients into the mixing bowl. Hey, by the way, I forgot to share the secret ingredient. So this is semolina flour. You can easily get it at any of the grocery stores, and you just need half a cup of semolina flour that you would add to the all-purpose flour in the stand mixer. So let's do that. So let's add the semolina flour in there. I make a little bit of an indentation in the middle of the flour to pour in the yeast in there. One of the reasons I do it is because I keep the yeast in the freezer. Pouring it in here, it warms up the yeast to the room temperature, so which is kind of helpful. I also have 1.25 cup of water that over here, which I warm up in the microwave for a little bit to get it to room temperature. I usually do take water from my filter in the refrigerator. This takes out some of the chlorine and chloramine, so it reduces that kind of pungent smell that sometimes comes from flour or from the dough when you bake it. Anyway, so now we can add a teaspoon of half a teaspoon of salt in there, which I just poured it around the flour. Again, the idea is to have everything at room temperature. So now I'm going to add olive oil in there, 2 tablespoons of olive oil. You can use any other regular oil like canola oil or vegetable oil, but olive oil definitely adds a better flavor to the pizza dough. You can knead it by hand, but in my case I'm using a stand mixer, which makes it much easier. I'm going to add water in there, but I don't want to add all the water initially. I just add half the water in there and let the stand mixer do its job. I like to watch the consistency of the dough before I add more water in there. Just remember that semolina flour tends to absorb a lot more water than your all-purpose flour, so you may want to be a little careful when adding. Whenever you add any water in there, just add in slowly and maybe a tablespoon at a time after the initial half of the water that you add. So now let's keep it going. I think it looks like it is not mixing and it's not forming into a dough, but don't worry about it. It will eventually form a nice dough. So it takes a little bit of time. The more time you give it to knead, the better activation of the yeast and better dough that will come out. So don't be in a rush. It may take up to 5 minutes or so. Not a lot of time. I'm not talking about the whole day or something. Just give it a little bit of time to make the dough. Just keep adding water, as I mentioned, as needed, maybe a tablespoon at a time. Be very careful when adding water because you don't want to create a slurry in there. That would be no good. And then you'll have to add more flour in there, and then just the whole the balance goes off. So now once the dough has formed, as you can see, it's formed into a nice dough ball. what we're going to do is cover it up and put it into the oven at 120 degrees. Now most of the ovens don't have 120 degrees temperature, including mine. As you will see, if I put 120 in there, it will error out. So there you go, you can see that when I started, it errors out. So the minimum temperature it can go is up to 170. So let's just run it at 170. It will, when the temperature hits 120, make sure to switch it off. 120 or 110 is good enough for the dough. You really don't want it to go all the way because that will kill the yeast. So now the dough ball is ready. We'll cover it up with a wet cloth. It's important to cover it with a wet cloth so you don't want to dry it up, and the heat in the oven also will evaporate some of that water and create that nice humid environment for the yeast to do its job. So now it's been in there and the temperature is at 110. I switched off, so you will see that the oven is not running anymore. And let's give it an hour and a half for the dough to rise up. So let's wait. There you go. So you can see the dough has risen up very nicely. It's now very spongy. And I'm going to take it out and pat it down, add some more flour to it. I then usually pre-bake the pizza pie. One of the reasons is because our home ovens don't tend to go to 700 degrees Fahrenheit, which is the optimum temperature. I use the broil setting, so that gets the temperature really high, and then pre-bake the pie crust so that it comes out really nice. So now that the crust is done, you can add your choice of toppings and sauces on it. I like to use some pasta sauces, or I also make sometimes my own sauce at home. We can take a look at one of those options in one of my next videos. In the meantime, please do share if you like the recipe in the comments below, and if you haven't subscribed, please do subscribe and hit the like button. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next video.